Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Office for New Americans Workforce Impact Day. My name is Antonio Corchado. I am the Community Navigator at the center. This morning, we have Ashley Bustos, our Employment Manager at the center, and she will be presenting how to recognize and avoid employment scams. We're really excited for this Impact Day and to show it to everyone. So welcome, Ashley.
Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to jump right in. We're going to be talking, like Antonio said today, about how to recognize and avoid employment scams. So what you're going to learn today, you're going to learn the signs of a job scam, to recognize a job scam, how to avoid job scams, how to find real job possibilities, and the different trending types of job scams. And I'll also provide you with some resources and information and help with scams if you feel that you have been scammed. Well, let's get right into this. So the signs of a scam. First one, you receive an unexpected request. So it might be a scam if somebody contacts you unexpectedly and asks you for something like personal data, money, account information, or even like remote access to your computer, for example. The request might not come immediately, but eventually it will come. There is a promise or a threat. So you are promised something desirable. So maybe the ability to make big money while working at home, the chance to get paid for cashing a check, help with a financial problem, or I mean, even you can get scammed on immigration visas and things of that nature as well. They might threaten you with something unwelcome, like an arrest, deportation, forfeited lottery winnings. These are all types of things that may be a sign of a scam. There's a sense of urgency. So there's a sense of urgency to the person's request. Maybe they need your payment right away or your personal information, computer access immediately for you to avoid some unwelcome consequence like being arrested or account closure or a loss in an investment opportunity or something like that. Required payment method is untraceable or unrecoverable. So payment is requested from a form that is untraceable or difficult to cancel or recover. So an example of this might be like a wire transfer or a gift or a prepaid credit card. Or you just feel something is off. So, you know, maybe this message was sent to you by email by supposedly a legitimate business or an agency, but you see that, you know, it has typos or unusual capitalization, or maybe it's non-native English use and bad grammar and other errors, or maybe the email address or phone number or website provided in the communication is coming from a well-known business, but it doesn't match the contact information that's found on its legitimate website. So those are all things that can be a sign of a scam. Next, we're going to talk about 10 ways to recognize a job scam. So, number one, job offers from strangers. So if somebody offers you a job without getting an application from you first or meeting you or doing an interview, it's most typically a scam. High pay for simple work. So you want to be very wary of ads or emails, callers promising to pay back a lot of money for jobs that don't seem to require too much effort or skill or experience. Usually, these types of offers turn out to be a scam. Request for money, as I was talking about before. If somebody wants to pay you a fee or buy something to get to work, stop immediately. This is a sure sign that it's a scam. Once you've paid, the scammer disappears, and so does your money. Criminals may ask you to pay money to cover application or enrollment fees, employment screening fees, purchase of materials or office supplies, shipping costs and training fees, and so on and so forth. If you wire a payment to somebody, it may not be possible to get your money back. So scammers may also ask you to purchase gift cards. said this before, and provide card code numbers or request other forms of payment that are quick and hard to recover, such as payment apps like Cash App. Requests for personal identity or financial information. Be very suspicious if an unfamiliar employer or recruiter asks you for social security number, your birthday, bank account number, or other private information that could be used to steal your identity. So an employer should never request your social security number prior to an interview. Sometimes it is common for them to ask it on a job application, but if you're in tune with who is reputable and an actual business, sometimes it is okay for you to do that. It's common for job scammers to try to get this information when pretending to hire the victim. So don't give out such details to anyone you haven't investigated first, or whom you have not met. If you have not met the employer in person, don't agree to a background check. Again, this could really put you at risk for identity theft. Fake checks. So some scammers send checks to cover the supposed cost of doing a job, with a portion to be used as payment to the worker. So this is a technique that's often called overpayment scam. The fake check may look real, appear to be clear at first, but soon it'll bounce, typically after the victim has spent a lot of money to benefit the scammer. Even cashier's checks and money orders can be faked by scammers. So you want to be aware that they're sent by, you want to be aware of checks that are sent by people who are unfamiliar to you. So job scam victims can lose thousands of dollars due to fake checks. So that is really not good. Maybe they're going to push you, put you in a high pressure situation to act now. Just reject anybody who pushes you hard to accept an unsolicited offer or job, or pressures you to take other action that seems unusual for the sake of the job. High pressure is always a sign that something's wrong. Long distance employer. So many job scans involve opportunities that seem to come from an employer located in another country or a different state. You want to watch out for these. The scammers use this as an excuse to hide their identities. So if an employer lists only like a PO box and doesn't provide a local street address, be wary of this. It's also a way of hiding that the scammer may be in a remote location. However, be aware that there is also cases where bold scammers open temporary offices and conduct in-person interviews and then vanish after taking money or your identity information. So you just really, really want to be careful, anything that looks suspicious. Talking about suspicious, let's talk about suspicious emails. I get this all the time. A lot of unsolicited emails during job offers, which, could be viewed as very suspicious. So if you receive a job offer and an email that comes from a free email site, just like the ones we use, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, it is very likely to be a scam. So most employers will use an email address related to their company's website address. You want to bear in mind that it is also easier for scammers to imitate an email address from a legitimate company. Fake websites. So if the company making the job offer has a website, check to see when the website was established. You can do this. There's a lot of different sites out there where you can actually check the validity of a website. You can use whois.icann.org/en. That's a good one where you can actually go on and you can research the website at hand. If the website was established only recently and contains like language errors or doesn't work properly, it could be a scam. If the contact information for a physical street address for the business is missing or doesn't make sense, you want to be cautious. A cell phone number and an email address really aren't sufficient for individuals. So don't click on links that someone gives you to verify a company's identity. So instead, you want to really search the web on your own with the company name, check the location addresses online, and see if they match that business. You can always ask the BBB, which is the Better Business Bureau. They have a great website that you can search scam reports, and they have a scam tracker. You can also call your local BBB office if you want to have help figuring out whether you're looking at a scam or not. So let's talk about some ways to avoid these job scams. Number one, let's be diligent. So these are scammers and shady businesses, and they're around every corner, just waiting for their next victim. So you want to keep your guard up. You want to maintain a healthy level of skepticism. Scrutinize all unsolicited communications. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. You want to be aware of urgency. Being rushed usually means that someone doesn't want to give you time to do the research and make an informed decision yourself. Always guard your money and your data. If someone you don't know unexpectedly asks you for money or personal information, ignore them. Verify your requests that might be legitimate before you act. Do your due diligence. So the internet is a great vetting tool. It's used to verify stories. You can, verify names of employers, phone numbers, and other information you are given. So really do your research. You can consult with somebody you trust as well. So when faced with, requests or demands for money, personal information, access, always get a second opinion from somebody who's trustworthy. I have a lot of clients who come into my office with email requests and things that they think they're getting a job about, but they aren't. So I like to always have them consult with one of our employment specialists or myself before actually getting into a situation that might be damaging to their identity or employment. Next, if you're doing something and you have to pay for something, while other types of payment cards offer some protection, you want to pay with credit cards because it offers the strongest consumer protections under the federal law. The right to dispute fraudulent transactions. So if something is paid on your card, you can fight that with your credit card and most likely get your payment back. And again, with a credit card, payments are traceable. So let's talk about using the internet to avoid scams. So the internet's a tool that many scammers really like to use. It's a strong tool for identifying and avoiding scams too. So a consumer with internet access actually can research an individual or company. You can verify the URL. Again, like I said before, you can definitely check on their phone number, their address. You can even check the reviews and rating of the business and determine if the communication is questionable or not. So let's get into some ways. You want to check the validity of an offer. So check the validity of a threat, offer, claim, or story. So a simple online search can reveal any type of scam. I've mentioned this before, your internet is your best friend for these types of things. You want to research an individual or company. Again, type a name into the search bar of your browser and see what comes up. So try it with quotes around the name, maybe without. Continue to dig until you're satisfied. If there are no results for your search, that could be a red flag, and the individual or the company name could be made up. So if you find the company or the individual's website, check it for professionalism. So that means, again, no typos, no fuzzy images. They have stock photos. They are missing information, or they have limited pages. So you know how you always get those privacy policies and terms of use? Maybe that website doesn't have those things. This can be a sign that the site was put together very quickly, and perhaps it is a scam. So Again, you can like track the site's registration data, the name under which the site was registered, and when it was created. There's different websites again out there that can help you to do that. There's one, it's www.whois.net. I believe that is one that you can actually check and research the company on that website as well. You want to verify a company's web address, physical address, and phone number. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but verifying, a company's web address and physical address and phone number, rather than trusting the contact information you're given, is very crucial. So be sure that they have your name spelled correctly. Check the URL of the site you're visiting to be sure it's not, a different version of the correct address. I'm just going to use an example here. If you got a request from Microsoft, maybe their address was www.microsofthelp.com instead of www.microsoft.com. So, it's using Microsoft as the business, but it's just adding a little bit more to it, or it could be missing one letter. So you want to really watch out for things like that. Ratings and reviews. So you want to do research for the name of the company or individual along with the word rating or reviews to see what customers and complaint handling and rating services have to say. You can also check Facebook or any social media to see if the company has a page and if there are customer comments on it. If a company doesn't have any online reviews or rating, or if they're all glowing, you might be dealing with a scam. So you want to learn how to recognize reviews and see what's happening there. This is just a quick little overview of how to avoid an online scam. So stick to if it's too good to be true, it probably is mantra. You want to visit the reputable site and avoid clicking on ads or other weird looking links. Verify contact information, check first, guard your personal information with your life. If you're using the internet, always have antivirus software installed. Use a VPNs and avoid public Wi-Fi. And when in doubt, don't click. Ask somebody for assistance. All right, so how to find some real job possibilities. Pretty easy. Search through reputable channels. Look for job listings at well-known, legitimate employment sites. Come to my office, ask my staff for assistance, as well as job openings posted on websites of companies where you might like to work. In fact, job postings that are available through school career centers or employment offices. Work with employment agencies, and you can even check to see if they're required to be licensed in your area. And you can ask your friends, your relatives to let you know about current job opportunities. Always people that you can come to and trust. Stick to job opportunities that you have researched and applied for yourself. You really want to avoid job opportunities that are offered by strangers who may contact you by mail, phone, social media. Don't respond to job offers that you didn't apply for. Even when you are submitting an application, you want to check to be sure that the job is legitimate before making any type of contact. You always want to check the job listing to verify whether they are genuine. I'm going to keep saying this because a lot of folks, especially if you're not English speaking to begin with, or come from a different country, you really want to be aware that even reputable websites and college career centers have job scam listings posted. So especially sites and bulletin boards, for example, Craigslist, where it's easy to do posting and it's free. If you publish your resume on a website, this can sometimes lead to unwanted contacts from potential scammers. So just be aware of that. This is repetitive, but it's very important. Visit the link for it online and really check all the jobs posted that you see on the website to see if the job you're interested in is listed there. If it's not, it could be a red flag that the job you are interested in might not be a real one. Do an internet search of the company's name with the word scam to see if there's any warning from scam victims that come up in the search results, and check to see if the company has a track record. So search social media or websites such as like the Glassdoor, where employees can post reviews of their employers. Be aware that scammers also steal identities of real companies to commit to their fraud. So sophisticated scammers can create bogus checks and websites that look real. They may also use stolen names and photos of actual employees to help them convince their victims that job scams are real opportunities. Know which job types are often used in scams. So certain kinds of employment are frequently targets for scammers. You want to be especially cautious if seeking work in these fields. So there may be real jobs available in rare cases, but scam jobs are much, much, much more common. So common jobs that are targeted by scammers include like caregiving, virtual administrative assistants, customer service reps, possibly driver of an advertising wrapped car, security guard, medical billing, lots of different work from home employment. What are they called? Mystery shoppers. Some scam jobs may appear on websites that specialize in professions such as caregiving, but some of these could be scams. So you also want to be very careful of glamorous sounding jobs. So things like modeling or acting or movie related content, those types of jobs really typically target people with no prior experience, which is very, you want to be very careful with any listings that you find like that. Manage your social media accounts to protect yourself. This is a big one. Social media is so big right now, and we really got to watch our social media and make sure that you're not getting scammed through that. So some scammers may try to gain greater access to your social media account to learn more about you, either to target you or your contacts with scam offers or to use your identity for scamming purposes. Just make sure that you can set your social media privacy controls to limit the ability of strangers to contact you that way. So this can help protect you against job scams that approach through social media. Trending types of job scams. So let's talk about things that are happening right now. So right now, there is a ton of different job scams on remote data entry and virtual administration and virtual administrative jobs. So many recent job scams pose as offers of work at home or data entry or virtual administrative assistant positions for employers located elsewhere, especially now since COVID has hit. So scammers are offering these opportunities, and they may contact you again through email, through credible job search sites saying you are qualified to do high paying work with flexible hours from home. And some may even conduct a fake interview from your remote location or over the phone, or use tools such as Skype or Zoom, those types of platforms. The scammer convinces you to pay for fees, buy materials, make payments on their behalf, or again, giving your personal information to these people. Don't do it. So virtual scams, the victims are often given the task of registering the employer for a real industry conference. So the scammer sends, the fake checks that I talked about earlier to cover the registration costs as well as wages. The check is gonna eventually bounce, and when it's deposited, the funds released by the bank are first not enough to cover the conference and registration call, or the funds released by the bank at first are not enough to cover the conference registration costs. The scammer is then constructed to assist to purchase gift cards, scratch off the backs and expose the validation codes. And sometimes they make you take pictures and forward the pictures of the codes to somebody that is supposedly the conference manager for registration purposes. Um, the gift card costs will be covered when the check is fully released by the bank. This is what they're telling you. Of course, the emails with the gift card codes are actually going to the scammer, and the fake check will bounce and the victim will lose money. That's not good. Stay away from that. Let's talk about reshipping scams. Virtually all reshipping jobs are scams. So this scheme is especially dangerous because it involves unsuspected consumers and shipping stolen or counterfeit goods, which is a crime, and can also result in a significant money loss. So in this scam, the consumer is recruited by a criminal posing as a representative of logistics, shipping, or transportation company. The victim may be offered a job title such as merchandise coordinator or project manager, with extremely generous training, salary, or commission. After being hired, the scam victim is asked to receive packages at home for inspection or repackaging or reshipment. The scammer may provide prepaid shipping labels, which the consumer is instructed to use when reshipping receives packages through the mail to various locations, or usually these are overseas. So, but typically the consumer who fails to do this, they're not paid for their work, and sometimes they have paid some of the shipping costs themselves. Eventually, the scam company stops responding to the consumer's calls or messages. Phone lines are disconnected and emails begin to bounce. So by this time, being a scam victim, you probably have lost a ton of money, and you are really at the risk of being prosecuted for a criminal activity. So you want to stay away from those. Office setup scams. So this type of operation can leave consumers with excessive money losses, bank fees, or credit card charges, and could potentially expose them to identity theft. Again, in this scenario, the scam employer claims to be a company that is headquartered overseas. So let's say France, and it's looking to open an office or hire remotely based staff in America. So with this, the scammer contacts the consumer by email with an offer of immediate hire, so the sooner the better. And frequently this may happen after the target has posted his or her resume on a legitimate employment website. So in some cases, scammers have been connected with potential victims through communication technology platforms. Slack has been, known to have issues with this, so you want to be aware of that. Often the scam companies may try to look legitimate by pushing a convincing website and offering paperwork such as employment contracts. And some victims may even be required to undergo online training to show that they're suitable for the scam job. So, the consumer may be used for office setup expenses. These type of scam victims are told to deposit checks into their personal bank accounts, use the funds to purchase office equipment such as computers and printers and software. When the check is deposited, again, the consumer is urged to withdraw the money and transfer funds to another party. So, they're going to ask you to do wire transfers or buy gift cards or mobile payment apps, such as Cash App. And, their checks look very realistic, and they look valid, but of course it's fake and it'll bounce. So you want to stay away from that. Sometimes the consumers are instructed to use their own personal credit cards to make purchases. Don't do that. Scam victims are told to buy costly items such as laptops, tablets, and then ship them to another location. That is fishy. Don't do that. Once the merchandise is shipped, the phony company, they're going to disappear. The consumer isn't going to get any type of reimbursement and your money is lost. You bought expensive equipment and you gave it to a company that doesn't exist. Main thing, job training and employment agency scams. So this is persuasive. It really targets scammers in person. So it's easier for employment agencies and job training scammers to rent temporary offices and give the appearance of respectability. So victims of these types of scams, again, they can pay large fees in advance, lose the money. They're ending up wasting their time on non-existing job opportunities when they could have been applying for legitimate jobs instead. Fake employment agencies place job ads on free employment websites. So things like Indeed, Craigslist, things of that nature. And the ads say the agency has multiple positions available for jobs. So you can see things such as like receptionists or front desk clerks, security guards, things of that nature. Consumers who respond to ads are called into the agency's office, quote, quote, for an interview. And once at the agency, the consumer is pressured into paying a fee or certification or training materials that are supposedly needed for that employment. So you always want to check out employment agencies with regulatory authorities in your state before doing business with them. Check with, the office of your state attorney general, Department of Labor, or your local Department of Consumer Affairs to find out, if they have any licensing requirements and how to check them. Mystery shopping or secret shopper scams. So this is another type of scam that could leave consumers with significant money loss, plus bank fees, and potential expose them to identity theft. Mystery shopper scams, they solicit, their solicitations often include fake checks, like all the other ones, to be cashed or deposited into a consumer's personal bank account. And the scam is targeted to instruct individuals to withdraw the funds immediately to complete the first shopping assignment, with the promise of keeping a portion of the check as a payment for the job. This is like all of the other scams we have been talking about. Scam victims may be instructed to buy money cards. Again, if you see anything from like telling you to purchase things from iTunes or Google Play in various amounts, don't do it. After the purchase, the consumers are directed to scratch off the code on the back of the card. Again, take pictures and then send the information via email to a third party. This again, these types of job scams, it's just a way for the scammer to get money out of you. Be very, very apprehensive if you see any of these types of job scams. So some classic job scams, you've got envelope stuffing, billing and claims processing, online survey schemes, and pyramid types of schemes on multi-level marketing. I just wanted to talk about multi-level marketing for a bit. So there's some legitimate types of multi-level marketing jobs out there. So many such opportunities turn out to be scams though. So, multi-level marketers, they sell products directly to consumers. And they also make money by recruiting other people to sell the product. When the compensation is mostly based on making money off the sales of other people that you recruit, the job may be a legal pyramid scheme. So most people who become involved in pyramid schemes lose money. So you want to be very cautious, get the information in writing, and ask lots of questions before engaging in this type of enterprise. So I have a slide here. This is how a pyramid scheme works. Number one says recruits must pay an entry fee to join this exclusive company. The more you pay, the more benefits or privileges you get. The recruits are given products to sell, but focus is placed on them recruiting more people to join the company. Recruiters are then paid a commission for every new member they bring into the company. New members then recruit more people to join and pay entry fees. The system is designed to benefit a few of the top management or early entries into the company. So this is why it's called a pyramid scheme. Eventually, new members, the main source of income to the company, will run out and the entire scheme collapses. So members at the bottom lose their hefty investments while those at the top pocket the money. So I love how this shows you exactly what it is and how to spot a pyramid scheme. The company would charge high entry fees. The company's business model is very vague. Sources of income is primarily based on recruiting new members. The product sold by the company is the biggest giveaway. And there are usually overpriced items and they don't have no market or consumer value. So legitimate companies would discourage salespeople from buying too much product stocked and offer opportunities or refunds for unsold products. Pyramid schemes do the opposite. So the company would promise you unusually high returns on your investment. The more you invest, the higher your returns will be. So I really liked seeing this. It's a good visual. Sources of information and help with scams. So these are just websites that you can go to. The Better Business Bureau is a perfect example of where you can go to get some more information. You can also go to the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, the Federal Trade Commission, the New York State Attorney General's Office, and the New York Department of State, the Division of Consumer Protection. So these are all really great resources that you can use to assist you. So you want to stay ahead of the latest scams. So if you want to stay away or stay ahead of the latest scams, there's some other websites you can use. So let's talk about Scamgram. So this is a cool one. It's a consumer actions monthly email and it alerts you to the dirtiest players in the world of theft, fraud, and credit card scams, ID theft, and general con artistry. So you can sign up to receive the Scamgram each month and it'll come to your inbox or your email. You can also use fraud.org, which is the National Consumers League website, and it's another monthly newsletter. You can, again, use the Better Business Bureau Scam Alert. That's probably the most easiest one to use, and it's the go-to for complaints against businesses. So the BBB knows about scams. The organization allows you to report scams and read about other consumers report scams, and they can alert you to future attempts as well. The FTC scam alerts. So again, this is a website and you can get email alerts. They really provide the latest information and tips from national consumer protection agencies. So you can kind of browse scam alerts by topic or the most recent, and then you can have them sent directly to your email. So that is awesome. If you've been a victim of a job scam, let's see, you want to report it. You don't want to not report being a victim of job scams. So report it. Where to report depends on the type of scam it is. So again, you can use some of those websites that were just listed and see where your type of scam fits in. You want to start with the Federal Trade Commission. They are a great resource and they have lots of information and details on how to do corrective action if you have been a victim of job scams. And then, there's other things. So if you've been a victim of a job scam, talk to other individuals, consult your local employment agencies that you feel comfortable with. Talk to somebody who knows something about potential job offers and whether things are real or fake. Always get a second opinion. It'll definitely help you. And that's all I have. I wanted to thank everybody for actually watching my presentation. So if you have any questions regarding whether or not you have been the victim of a scam or any other type of scam, again, consult us, the Center's Workforce Development Team. You can always email us at employment@thecenterutica.org, or you could call us 315-738-1083. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, for such a great presentation. And as Ashley said, we are here to help. So, if you feel you've been a victim of, any of these scams, please contact us. We're more than glad to help. So today's workshop will be, today's Workforce Impact Day will be up on Facebook. So if you haven't followed us on Facebook, please do so. We have lots of great information that we post all the time. The way to follow us is you just search at the Center Utica, and once you do that, you'll see that you can actually follow us. So click that follow button and get all the great information from us. So I want to thank Ashley for joining us this morning with such a great presentation. And if you have any questions, you can reach us on our website also. So our website is www.thecenterutica.org. Thank you so much. Have a great morning and the rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.